So, if you... yeah, I don't want to go into too much detail for what happened yesterday. We're going to vent about that off camera. Because right now, we have a very important pay-per-view for AEW. Revolution. We are back in Chicago, damn it. Tickets for this event has sold out in less than an hour. And this pay-per-view is definitely a stacked card indeed here. We have some very highly anticipated matches, damn it. And I'm really, really looking forward to this show. By the way, quick little mention actually, AEW is coming to my city on April 29th, and I got tickets right within the first minute. Floor seats by not quite close to the entrance ramp, but within that area. I'll have to see. But all I know is I've got them, and I'm so pumped for it that's going to be in April. Right now, we have Revolution. I'm Coffee Lover 239, as with me as always is Heathie. Ready for the Revolution, Heathie?
Yeah, it's a perfect time to escape reality. Good to be here.
And it's a perfect time to get away from what happened at you-know-what, but let's do this. Our first match is Chris Jericho versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. Now, this background is, it's quite big, folks, so, might want to strap yourselves in here for a little bit. So after Jon Moxley's victory over Kenny Omega at Full Gear, he turned his attention to the AEW World Championship. On the December 11th, 2019 episode of Dynamite, AEW World Champion Chris Jericho invited Moxley to join his stable, the Inner Circle. He offered him 49% ownership of Inner Circle LLC, executive vice president position in the Inner Circle, and a 4GT with a Mox vanity plate. After considering his offer for several weeks, Moxley finally agreed to join the group on the January 8th, 2020 episode of Dynamite, even removing his jacket, which revealed an Inner Circle shirt. However, this was later revealed to be a ruse, as Moxley would subsequently attack Jericho with his little bit of the bubbly champagne bottle, and then hit Jericho and stablemate Sammy Guevara with a paradigm shift DDT. At Bash at the Beach, after Moxley defeated Guevara and his Inner Circle stablemates, Jericho, Jake Hager, and Santana and Ortiz, attacked Moxley. Jericho removed a metal spike from his jacket and spiked Moxley's right eye, causing him to wear an eye patch. Code word for turned into Snake Plissken from Escape from New York and Escape from LA. On January 22nd episode of Dynamite, Moxley defeated Pac to become the #1 contender for Jericho's championship at Revolution. After Dynamite, which Moxley won... Oh, wait, I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, where am I here? See, the background's so big, I can't even read it. So after Moxley defeated Ortiz on the February 5th episode of Dynamite, he spiked Santana in the left eye with his 4 GT keys, causing him to wear an eye patch too, calling it an eye for an eye. This would lead to a match between the two on the February 12th episode of Dynamite, which Moxley won. However, after their match, the Inner Circle beat down Moxley. Jericho hit him with the goddamn Judas effect, I'm still calling it that, and introduced the debuting Jeff Cobb as his hired gun, who hit Moxley with the Tour of Islands reverse spin scoop power slam. Wasn't expecting Cobb's debut. I know they might have done some backstage, but this is what happens when you have to watch both NXT and Dynamite in the same night. That won't be my case on April 29th. Anyways, on the February 19th episode of Dynamite, Cobb dominated Moxley in their match, but with a cradle pin after a superplex from Cobb, Moxley picked up the win. On the February 26th episode of Dynamite, Jericho and Moxley would have an official weigh-in for their AEW World Championship match at Revolution. Moxley stepped on the scale almost immediately, weighing in at 234 pounds. Meanwhile, Jericho took his time, slowly removing his champion belt, bandana, glasses, and jacket. Moxley unloaded his frustrations, headbutting Jericho, which busted him open and needed 7 stitches. The Inner Circle, or Painmaker Posse, as Jericho dubbed, attacked Moxley, but Dustin Rhodes and Darby Allin ran in to beat down their Revolution opponents, Hager and Guevara, respectively. The brawl ended with Santana giving Moxley a low blow, and Jericho gave Moxley the goddamn Judas effect, and Moxley's finishing move, Paradigm shift DDT on the scale, leaving a bloody Jericho standing tall over Moxley. Everybody got that? Boy, that took a good while. But yeah, this is definitely one hell of a championship match, quite frankly. The way they've built this up, from how everything I've described in that background there, I think is perfectly summed up why this match is just so damn important. I think the people, despite Moxley not really being a full-fledged face at times, of sort-ish, it's kind of complicated still in general in the world of wrestling, but what can I say, though? It's definitely been an interesting feud, quite frankly, and I'm really, really looking forward to this title match. Heaty, who do you think's gonna win?
That is the one thing, whether you're team WWE or team AEW, one thing you cannot dispute is the fact that AEW actually take time and care into manufacturing their rivalries into something that bubbles up and balls over, instead of just, having pay-per-views every other week.
Mm-hmm.
AEW really have this sort of in tune with NXT. No wonder they're drawn comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
They really like to spread out, and we've seen Moxley just battle his way to a world title shot. Despite seeming like he's getting assaulted every single week. With Moxley, with the eye patch,
Mm-hmm.
And Wayne, it really feels like a big money feud. Who do I think is going to win this? I mean, they've done a lot to make us feel like it's going to be both competitors, and I know we can say that about every single feud that we watch, but the fact is, it's actually believable instead of they're just saying, "Oh, anyone can win." You actually believe it. Jericho's been champion for a few months now, I think, since I believe it was September, so he's had a pretty decent run about. But if you don't have Moxley win, I'm not sure who you really have to, be the next top white meat babyface. I mean, they've had Cody lose.
But Cody's out of the title picture.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
Which we'll get
due
into
to
that.
MJ, yeah.
Yeah, we'll
due
get
to
into that
MJF,
in the next match. Actually, continue.
Yeah, so he's ruled out of competing for the title as long as Jericho is champ. So can't see that. I don't think Darby Allin is ready. Dustin Rhodes will be a bit weird
because he's old. He's 50.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a right fit anyway. Yeah, so I guess my main argument is probably going to be the lack of other opponents. I think Moxley's time is coming. I don't think this will be now, though. So, against my better judgment and a voice in my head does scream Moxley. It's really a tight affair to call, but I'm going to go with Jericho to win.
I mean, I'm very tempted to almost say Moxley myself. I mean, Jericho has held the belt for at least 181 days. That's at least 30, 60, 90, 120, 100, and wait, yeah, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. That's about 6 months or so. That's a pretty solid reign. That's about how long Kofi Kingston was in his WWE Championship reign. And if it can last for that long, I think Jericho has lasted enough. Plus, and this is a key thing that I really, really want to stress, especially with what happened at SSD, you've got to build for the future. You've got to build for the future and understand that the stars of today are pretty much the ones you're building for, or at least not today, but like the up-and-comers ones, or the younger ones, technically. Because Jericho's going to be 50 this year when November rolls around. Meanwhile, Moxley himself is still 34 and still has several good years left in him. And definitely I think he's at least top in that main event status to where, yeah, you could give him a good run with the belt. And if that can be a good enough reign there, if 6 months is good enough for, I suppose, Kofi, even though that reign went bad, it's probably enough for Jericho as well. So, you know what? I'm actually going to go with Jon Moxley on this one, too. Not just because of the fact that he's the younger one and Jericho's had a decent enough reign, but this also needs to be another subtle message I see towards WWE, saying, we're going to build for the future and show you how it should be done. So I am going with Jon Moxley on this one. And our next match is Maxwell Jacob Freeman with the Wardlow in his corner versus Cody Rhodes with Arn Anderson in his corner. Here's another big one for you, actually, with this description. Another one that they've taken the time to properly build up. So again, strap yourselves in, folks. Here goes. At the start of AEW's foundation, Cody took on MJF as his protege, who would often accompany Cody for matches. At Full Gear on November 9th, 2019, Cody faced Chris Jericho for the AEW World Championship with a stipulation that if Cody lost, he could never challenge for the title again. And while Jericho had Cody in the Lion Tamer submission hold, MJF threw in the towel as he felt Cody could not continue. Thus, Jericho retained, ending any future World Championship pursuits for Cody. At least as long as Jericho is champion? I don't know. We'll have to see. But anyways, where is it here? I can't even... Okay, so after the match, MJF consoled a disappointed Cody, but then Cody turned on Cody by taking him to Dick Kick City. On the following episode of Dynamite, MJF called Cody a liar and a sociopath, claiming that if he had not prevented Cody from winning, his career would have been over. Highly unlikely, and I'm kind of a little bit for the liar part. Maybe the sociopath he could try, but I don't know. So Cody came to the ring, but was attacked by the debuting Wardlow, who revealed to be MJF's bodyguard. As MJF refused to face Cody in a match, Cody asked MJF to name his price. MJF laid out 3 conditions to be met by Cody in order for a match between them to happen at Revolution. He could not touch MJF until the match. He would have to defeat Wardlow in a steel cage match. And here's the crazy one. He would have to take 10 lashes with a leather belt on live TV. Just saying that makes me shudder a little. And Cody agreed to all the stipulations. On the February 5th, 2020 episode, Cody took 10 lashes from MJF, including one from Wardlow. Angered that Cody prevailed, MJF once again took him to Dick Kick City and quickly retreated with the Wardlow. Cody then defeated Wardlow in AEW's first steel cage match on the February 19th episode to make the match with MJF at Revolution official. After Cody's moonsault from the top of the steel cage, which was fucking beautiful, might I add, it was revealed that he suffered a non-displaced fracture of his distal phalanx in his right great toe, but is cleared for action. Man, talk about another one they've really given the storyline up to quite a bit. The fact that Cody wants revenge on MJF for turning on him and costing him any future championship opportunity shots for the time being. And the fact that he's actually done all this crazy madness. This is another storyline that I feel has the right reasons to be invested for. It can be a little crazy to sit through, especially the 10 lashes, but damn, he's willing to go through all of that is something. Even for something as simple as revenge on MJF, I do think this is a captivating storyline, even if there are a few holes in it that could probably be a little bit improved, but still, this is another match that I'm really looking forward to. Probably my second most anticipated match of the evening. Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
I mean, you're right about that. This storyline is one of, if not the most competitive storylines in wrestling right now. You have Banjo and Edge on WWE side, but on AEW side, I think that's just a level above. You know, you have the lashes, you have the cage match with Wardlow, you have the constant promos by MJF and Cody Rhodes with the involvement of Arn Anderson and Wardlow. It just feels like, you know, a storyline is good when you have them advertise a steel cage match 3 weeks in advance, and that's not even the blow-off match.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know that the fans can be invested in it. And also, it's not just that; it's the fact that each week they announce and then an MJF promo, you know, citing his stipulations, the 10 lashes, all, you know, promoted a week in advance, and the fans don't get tired, and it doesn't feel contrived. It feels like, you know, it's worth the wait. So, if I'm not saying this match deserves the title with it, but, you know,
doesn't really need the title, to be honest.
Exactly. Yeah, the point is, it wouldn't feel out of place if this was the main event of the pay-per-view. Obviously, I would be absolutely against. I would obviously be for that motion, again, the world title feud's been amazing too.
Mm-hmm.
Cody's got the stipulation intact that where as long as Jericho is champion, he will never challenge the title again.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's in Cody's best character development wise that he does not win this match. I mean, if he was to lose this match, and you know, it was a bit. If you remember the Johnny Gargano storyline, he was losing left, right, and center.
Yeah, Whipping Boy. I called him
Yeah,
Johnny
late-
Whipping Boy for a while.
Yeah, late 2017, he was losing to Pete Dunne. He was losing to Tony Lorcan.
Andrade, I believe so.
Yeah, and Fabian Aichner too. So
Oof, that's gotta hurt.
that was the lowest point. But back to this point, I feel like that really kind of set Johnny up to really build himself from the ground up. And well, I think Cody may actually be, this whole storyline is like part of a much bigger storyline to have him be crowned champion. Obviously, you can't really get there without a bit of loss on the way there. And, all well and good that he loses his first title match. But if he was to beat MJF and just go on a tear and then be the one to either defeat Jericho or Moxley or whoever's the champion at that time, where he gets there, then it wouldn't feel like that much of a redemption storyline. I mean, sure, you beat the person who's been making life live in hell, but I feel like this Cody world title exile storyline can stand to go a bit further, and they could even extend this out further. I mean, if I was to book this match, Cody just spends a good 20 minutes beating the absolute daylights out of MJF, and then I don't know, just have MJF just collapse onto Cody. But like Triple H Undertaker storyline where MJF, he's basically a sack of sand. He's a sandbag, and getting carried out by Wardlow. Like it's like a Pyrrhic victory almost. You win, but do you really win? So, well, I guess the smart money's on Cody to finally get one over on a man who turned his back on him all those months ago. I think it's better character development wise if we have the heel, get his ass kicked, but still pull out a victory.
Just like that.
Just like a rabbit out of the hat. No one even noticed. No one would even recognize it until it happens. So I'm gonna go with MGF to get the shock win there.
When I think about this from the way you worded it, I mean, having Cody, having him go on the tear would be nice though. But at the same time, if MJF does win, I guess in a way the feud itself could kind of still go on a little bit, considering how well it's been booked and how it's not been drained into the ground and no ridiculous shenanigans in between. But I don't know, really. I'm kind of starting to feel a little bit of a tear on this one now. You could have Cody get one over on MJF, basically, but still be out in the title picture, provided that Jericho retains. And then you have MJF going on here, though, still saying he still got one over on him. But then, with Jericho possibly still retaining, they could still continue this. But if Moxley would... I just don't know, really. I don't know. It could go either way. I don't... I'll just go with MJF for now. Let's just provide it that they do that. And who knows, just a little bit longer might actually help. Our next match is Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. So on the February 19th episode of Dynamite, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, won a tag team battle royale to become the #1 contenders for the AEW World Tag Team Championship at Revolution. And I should mention it was an actual battle royale, not like one member of the team goes out, then the whole team goes down. No, none of that bullshit here by any means at all. No, an actual genuine battle royal, which, yeah, that was actually way better done too. Other teams in the Battle Royale were the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, the Butcher, the Blade. The way Solomonster says it always reminds me of John Laurinaitis. The Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver, the Hybrid 2, and Helico and Jack Evans, The Inner Circle, or Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz, Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, the true gin and juice, unlike the Street Profits, SoCal Uncensored, Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Guy, and Stronghearts, Shima and T-Hawk. That same episode, champions Kenny Omega and Adam Page retained their titles against the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix, to keep their spot as the defending champions against the Young Bucks. So this storyline here itself, we have one side of the Elite versus another side of the Elite. However, tension has been boiling over on Kenny Omega and Adam Page's side of things, with Page's alcoholism, if you will, just drinking up like there's no tomorrow, and kind of a rift a little bit between the Cleaner and the Cowboy. So, if you will, it might possibly bleed over into this match here in the storyline, and could possibly lead to both of them possibly losing the belts to the Young Bucks, who haven't really contested much for the belts, like, at all, like, until now of sorts. Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
Well, I mean, I'm loving that they're including more character traits and making it seem like characters aren't just these one-dimensional people with one-dimensional gimmicks. I'm liking this alcoholism as a character trait. It's a typical will they won't they tag team storyline. Will Adam Page and Kenny Omega be able to put aside their differences and come out with a W and retain these tag titles? You know, with a greater scale, grand picture being, you know, the Young Bucks, they're also part of the Elite too. So the rift in Omega and Page's alliance also, you know, consequentially puts a rift in the alliance with the Young Bucks. So, I mean, the thing is with tag titles is it's the one title that it's not really that bad if there's long reigns. And I mean, it's not really the highlight of the show, but it's a title you could hold for a considerable amount of time. And if compare it to like a world title, if say there was a world champion who was a bit stale for say about 6 months reign, people would be absolutely all over it and would hate it. But with the tag titles, you know, there's ways they can make it interesting, especially with the way they're going to character development recently with these four. So, especially Adam Page too. So, who do I think is going to win? Obviously, I feel like Omega and Page would make a great feud, and I could see it being at the semi-main event of any pay-per-view that AEW choose to put on in 2020 or 2021, depends how long they want to carry this out for. But I don't think now's the time to pull the trigger. I think that they probably considered it, but I don't know. Character development is great in establishing the future feud, and I feel like there's a bit of a further long way to go. I feel like Adam Page could probably spiral a bit further into his alcoholism if they do decide to have Kenny Omega just have enough of Adam Page and challenge him, or have it turn into unbridled rage from Adam Page. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Page and Omega to win via alcoholic shenanigans. Maybe, yeah.
Cowboy and the Cleaner, as I call them. Yeah, looking at this though, yeah, Cowboy and the Cleaner have only had about 38 days as reigning, defending, undisputed AEW World Tag Team Champions. SoCal Uncensored had a reign of about 83 days though, so we could kind of use that as a threshold. So if we wanted to use it as a threshold, then it probably would still be a little bit too early for Omega and Page to drop the belts, and you could possibly develop this further along until it really gets out of hand, quite frankly. But I don't know. I mean, you could have it run either way, or maybe just have them be transitional champs so the Bucks themselves can have a decent reign itself. And then yet Page and Omega say somehow get a number one contender shot by whatever means necessary. Try again, fail, and then boom, the turn happens. Yeah, deja vu, anyone? But the safe bet would be Omega and Page. But the other side in me, who knows if they are just transitional champions? Because yes, they're two guys in a stable. But the thing I mentioned, though, compared to not the Messiah and his disciple, is that there were two separate singles wrestlers in an overall stable with a legitimate tag team. But then again, it's not as angering inducing as it was there. But you know what? I'm actually gonna be a little risky for once. I am kind of feeling a little bit more risk-takey. So you know what? If they're just gonna, if Cowboy and Cleaner are just gonna be transitional champs, and leading into that, I don't know if it'll be too much of a loss. And eventually they'll have that mid-card title in there at some point that we could probably get Adam Page to contest for after this storyline concludes. So you know what? I am gonna go with the Young Bucks because I am feeling risky as hell today. Don't ask why, I just am. Our next match is Jake Hager versus Dustin Rhodes. So yeah, months of Jake Hager just being a bodyguard, and now he's finally actually going to be in action in the ring. And he's going up against Dustin, so that'll be fun. So on the October 30th, 2019 episode of Dynamite, Jake Hager attacked Dustin Rhodes in a parking lot and slammed his arm in a car door, injuring his arm, and that's it, really. I mean, just the dot there, the sentence isn't even properly finished on Wikipedia. But you get the idea. And on the February 12, 2020 episode, after Rhodes' victory over Sammy Guevara, he insulted Hager for being a failure in both professional wrestling and mixed martial arts, despite the fact that Hager did better in his first bout than CM Punk. Anyways, proclaiming he wanted a match with him at Revolution, which Hager accepted, making his in-ring debut match for AEW. So yeah, Hager's finally getting in on the action, actually, after just being a bodyguard for the Inner Circle and all. I mean, both guys are pretty good in the ring, so it should be a good match here as well. I don't really have much else to add. Heathy, who do you think's gonna win?
Yeah, it's very much a undercard affair right now. I mean, it's still a pretty strong undercard match to have. You have Jake Hager, man who debuted. He hasn't had a debut. This will be his debut on Saturday, but his actual first appearance was in October. So, he's only been the henchman so far. It's not really seen. We know what he's capable of. We've seen him in WWE and we've seen him outside of WWE. But we haven't really seen if he's changed his moveset or if there's any ring rust out. From being outside of the ring for about 2 to 3 months now. So, I mean, surely the fan favorite is going to be Dustin Rhodes, but you can't see Jake Hager suffering a loss in his debut match for the company.
Yeah.
So I guess it's that cut and dry, to be honest. I think it's going to be Jake Hager to win.
Yeah, Hager, himself, it's just, he really hasn't had a match at this point, and Dustin, I don't think, really needs the win. Plus, if the other members of Inner Circle who are battling tonight are going to lose, someone here has to prevail somewhere. And that's probably going to be more than likely Jake Hager out of everyone that we have here. So let's go ahead and go on to the next match. Our next match is Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara, the so-called Spanish God. And I have to use air quotes for that you can't see. You also can't see me doing the you can't see me bit, but that's beside the point. Anyways, during AEW's Road to Kansas City video released via YouTube on February 24th, a match was arranged between Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin. There's really not much other bit here, but there's still been plenty of build-up with Darby Allin getting attacked with his own spiked skateboard and not being able to talk, so he riffs on Sammy by using the cue cards like Guevara had been doing for some time, which was quite freaking hilarious just to see him do that. Oh man, that shit was funny. Yeah, but the two have been feuding for weeks, reaching a breaking point, which Guevara and the rest of the Inner Circle attacking Allin, with Guevara spiking Allin in the throat with his own skateboard. He made his return a week before. This was an article from the Wrestling from Figure 4 Online that is giving me background about this match because Wikipedia won't. Yeah, he returned that week before, the week before February 24th, attacking Inner Circle, who were beating down Jon Moxley. Holding up signs, he issued a challenge for Revolution saying Moxley will take Jericho's title, but Allen will take so much more from Guevara, including his voice and his livelihood. No, damn it, some people need the Spanish god, or for whatever. Matches, even though he looks more like the Beebs, but that's beside the point. Anyways, another war raging on within the Inner Circle. Still going at it. Nothing more to say here. Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
No, I mean, Darby Allin has a hell of a lot of momentum. So after attacking Guevara on February 18th, and if you just take one look at Darby Allin, you really start to draw comparisons between him and Jeff Hardy of the early 2000s.
Yeah.
This is this young guy, just absolutely risk-taking daredevil who resonates with the fans. You know, and like you said, if any Inner Circle's going to get a victory, it will be Jake Hager. But I feel like that theory actually makes sense. You look at these matches on the card and you think the Inner Circle really have it out for them. It's like with the Undisputed Era, they kind of lost all their matches bar Adam Cole, and you really start to think, oh, their reign's coming to an end. But it's a tough one. I mean, either Darby or Sammy could win, and I'd probably be fine with it, and I'm sure the large majority of the audience will be fine with it, since it's a pretty inconsequential match. But I think for the sake of Darby Allin's momentum, and if AEW are really serious about making him into the next big star, I think the work has to be put in pretty early, starting now. So I'm going to sacrifice the Spanish god for now, and I'm going to go with Darby to win.
Sacrifice the god. Guevara's been somewhat of a whipping boy, much like Johnny Gargano was at times in NXT. But hey, if Johnny can bounce back from that, I'm sure Sammy could too. So, going by that, I'm also going to go with Darby Allin as well. And our next match is Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's World Championship. There is no background for this whatsoever on the description in the Wikipedia page. This was kind of a last-minute addition. Anyways, looking at this here, Nyla Rose had beat Riho, the previous champion, on the February 12th, 2020 episode of Dynamite, which actually happened in Center Park, Texas, in my home state, but not my home city, because Center Park's closer to Austin, whereas I live in Houston. But yeah, we were hitting up at least most of the major cities, and it took them long enough. But whatever. She beat Riho, and yeah, and I assume thanks to the stats or Statlander winning a match, number one contenders match, I can't really remember, she is now in the contending for the belt itself. To be honest, the AEW women's division has kind of been a little stagnant. I mean, even though Riho I thought would be a decent champion, at times they really didn't do a whole lot with her. There really was not much of a character for her, I think, for people to get behind, unfortunately. And her matches weren't anything special, but they weren't too bad either. But, that lack of a character. Like, no promos about how great it is to be the champ. No promos on I'll fight, blah, blah, blah. No, nothing like that. It's possible because she's Japanese and probably doesn't have very good English, more than likely. It's possible that was a overcoming ordeal, and something about other dates as well, I'm not sure. But now with the belt on Nyla Rose, who I was a little hesitant at first, but I'm warming up slowly but surely, and how she actually cut a promo, it's like, gasp, an actual promo about the belt, and running roughshod on the women's division. I know, shocking, where was this? And she actually isn't too bad in the ring. And then you have Chris Statlander as well, who I absolutely adore, by the way, actually. And, yeah, I'm hoping this elf should be a good match, and it should be a good step in helping, get the women's division, back on track, because even the NXT women's division is better than AEW women's division. But hey, hopefully the kinks get ironed out, and, yeah, I think this match should be a good step in the right direction. Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
I mean, one of the few criticisms leveled at AEW, women's division, is their lack of booking or lack of care. Yeah, I'm looking through my notes and I really can't see the genuine reason, apart from the stats, maybe. And surely that is the reason, because I don't recall having the number one contenders match for that title. I mean, so yeah, I guess Chris is definitely a Statlander because it did earn her that women's title match in Revolution. So, look, since AEW want to keep their booking of the women's division short and sweet, I think we should keep our predictions short and sweet. Nyla Rose recently just won a title. She's not going to lose a title. She just won. I don't feel. Chris Statlander's perfect opponent. You know, got a bit of momentum to her name. The fans adore her. A good babyface for Nyla Rose to absolutely steamroll over. Sad to say.
Yeah.
Her time will come, of course, but I think it's going to be Nyla Rose to win this one.
Yeah, I'm going with you. You pretty much took the words right out of my mouth. Nyla's only held the belt for about 16 days. There will be 17 by the day of the pay-per-view, so it's way too early for her to drop it. This match is the first step in what is a very big recovery process, or even, I should say, really just getting the women's division off the ground, considering it was just there when Riho was champion. But now, with this, someone who can actually cut a promo to save their lives, but that's why you get managers for those who don't speak English. Yeah, this is going to be a long process a bit, but we'll get there. Or maybe it won't be, who knows. And there's still plenty of other females as well to go through, like Hikaru Shida as well. So I'll go with Nyla Rose on this one. Our next match is Pac versus Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed. On the February 26th episode of Dynamite, Orange Cassidy interrupted Pac's post-match interview after Pac's loss to Kenny Omega, creating a standoff between the two. Later in the episode, a match between the two was confirmed for Revolution. What the hell else can I really say about this? There's really not much, other than maybe Cassidy trying just a little bit harder, because it's the bastard Pac, you know. It's going to be even more crazy here. But at the same time, Cassidy is so freaking over with the crowd. We remember that kid that dressed up actually as Orange Cassidy. I thought that was pretty cool actually, and got a smile out of me. So Cassidy, his hell is over, and when he actually can go, he really can. And Pac, whatever, well, we know what he's capable of. But I really don't have much else to add. So, Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
I mean, all we can do is tout the absolute insane ability powered within the fists and palms of Orange Cassidy. I mean, if we're not careful, Cassidy's gonna send Pac from Revolution to NXT R Evolution when he was a dull, bland babyface. I feel like he has that time warping abilities lodged in his knuckles. So I fear from the Newcastle bastard, because this man cannot be tamed. I heard that he was in a room with Hitler and Mussolini, and he had 2 bullets, and he just shoved the bullets up their ass and made them spontaneously combust. This man is just absolutely out of his world, and how is he be able to be confined within the construct of a human body? Kind of scares me. He's an intergalactic, intellectual Superman, and no, I'm lying. He's not a man. He's just a being. He's a demigod. He is an absolute. I keep trying to say human, but we damn sure know he's not human.
Yo, no, damn Skippy. Hell no.
And he's masked under this flimsy, weak flab of human flesh. But it's a false sense of security. You don't want to get lulled into that false sense of security, because It's like the Shaggy meme. Orange Cassidy, when he's hitting them kicks, we all know he's working at 3% full capacity. Imagine if he was working at 100%. Pac,
Oh man,
Pac, a devout Newcastle supporter, would be turned into a Sunderland scum. Only the English guys will get that. But anyway, all seriousness,
God.
I think Orange Cassidy's going to show this sorry sack of shit a little morsel of mercy, and he's going to award Pac some much needed momentum, since Orange Cassidy was born a time baby and therefore transcends all space and time. So the point in which he is living right now and the Big Bang and also his birth are the same point in time. Interpret that how you may, but it's a bit confusing, I know. Then again, being an absolute god can be confusing at times. So I'm going to go with Orange Cassidy. No, I'm not. Oh my god, he has mind control and he made me say his own name. That's how powerful he is. No, I'm going to go with Pac to win this.
Oh god. Oh shit. Oh god, just send for the man right now, because I'm full blown fucking corpse. Oh, I'm full blown corpsing right now, man. I can't get over that. You have absolutely fucking broken me. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. I haven't laughed this hard since Tony Atlas's reaction to I can't finish my bucket. Just go with Orange Cassidy for me. If I keep this up, if I keep this up, I'll be here all fucking day. Orange Cassidy, man, all the way, freshly fucking squeezed. Disclaimer: there's no decent picture for this match available, so I'm gonna use that trope again of cute picture of Sally Acorn in place of match card graphic, and things will go back to normal after we conclude this. Thank you. Okay, I think I'm fine now, ladies and gentlemen. Just hold on. I had to pull a Marco Rubio there. Alright. SoCal Uncensored. Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky with Christopher Daniels versus the Dark Order, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson with Alex Reynolds and John Thorpe. Oh god, I don't know if I can get over that bit there. Just okay, hold on. Alright, we gotta get into professional mode. In the February 26th episode of Dynamite, a match between the Dark Order, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson at SoCal Uncensored, Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky was made for the pay-per-view. There's really not a whole lot of description here, but yeah, we know SCU have been caught up in the war against the Dark Order and the havoc that they have been wreaking across Dynamite for some time now. Sooner or later, though, all commanded by the so-called Exalted One, and let's just say the Exalted One's broken brilliance will be delightful. It's no secret, really, at this point. Hopefully, but at the same time, even if it is predictable, though, yeah, it still would be cool. And that said, we're still waiting here, though, and the war is still probably going to rage on for a little longer until we get to the so-called Exalted One, and this match is just a necessary stepping stone to get there. Healy, who do you think's going to win?
Well, this whole pre-show match seems to just be on the basis of, the Dark Order being, particular with Christopher Daniels being, form some sort of, well, not alliance, just not wanting to attack him. And that's led some to believe, maybe even some of the SCU group thinking that Daniels is the Exalted One, this Exalted One who is in control of Dark Order and all of its disciples who agree to everyone So here's the thing. I absolutely agree with you that Matt Hardy, if AEW had their way, Matt Hardy would be the exalted one.
His contract's coming up, so it
Yeah,
could
but here's
be.
the thing. People think, and I'm not too sure if you feel the same way, but the exalted one is set to be revealed tomorrow, as we record on Friday, on Saturday night. But Matt Hardy's contract does not expire until Sunday, so he's legally binded. He's
Still to the
legally binded from
WWE.
he's legally binded from appearing at the show tomorrow night. So
Unless
if
it
they do,
goes all the way into the end to strike at midnight, but I don't know. Probably not.
no, it's a pre-show. No, they
Yeah,
wouldn't do
we're going to
that.
be far away from midnight. Or not far away
No.
as you can get, but far enough away.
Yeah, there'll be like around 7 p.m., 8 p.m. I'm not too sure how US time zones work. But here's the thing. I don't think they want to like breach any contract with WWE or Matt Hardy wouldn't especially. And unless they want it to be, I don't know, Raven or people saying Dustin Rhodes
I'm not
or
really sure
unless
about Dustin Rhodes or even Raven for that matter.
no, no, I think they're red herrings too.
Hmm.
They're gonna have to hold off on it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
maybe it's like it's an appearance without it being an appearance. You don't see the face. Maybe you just see Titanfall, a little cut of Titanfall
A
with the exalted
glimpse, a
one.
teaser.
Yeah, with a mask on or something to that effect. And then that helps Dark Order get the win, distract SCU. Um, yeah, I do think it's Matt Hardy, and we're talking about this because this is really the crux of the whole storyline. Who is the exalted one? And the red herrings Daniels, but it's going to be Hardy. It's really the question of will there be interference? Because if there's not, how do you see Dark Order pulling the victory on this one? I don't know. I mean, his pre-show match doesn't really have much meaning. It may bring credence to the fact that it is Matt Hardy if we don't see the exalted one. Maybe that's the admission of, hey, we're waiting for Matt Hardy to use his broken brilliance to weigh out the remainder of his contract and show up. Maybe next Wednesday or maybe at the next pay-per-view. I'm not sure how lenient AEW are in regards to, holding out on the reveal. But yeah, I'm gonna say they're waiting for Matt Hardy to get out of his contract. I think he's the exalted one, and I think that's what's gonna help Dark Order get a win on Saturday. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Dark Order to beat SU.
I mean, looking at this though, wouldn't you want to give the reveal of the Exalted One on a higher scale? And doing that in a spot like on Dynamite or whatever the next pay-per-view is would definitely be of more significance, so more people are paying attention in that matter. But at the same time,
I'm sure they would, but it's a contract. I mean, believe you me, I'm pretty sure us and AEW are in agreement that if Matt Hardy, was a week early with his contract, he would be showing up on Saturday. But it's the sort of thing you really can't work around. I mean, do you have him show up next Wednesday, or do you wait for Double or Nothing in May?
well, even if you did, even if it was a week early, doing this thing on the pre-show would not exactly be ideal. Because like I said, you need more people to see this thing here, even if the storyline itself has been a little rocky to say the least. This is like the one key thing that I think could help really just dig it out of that rockiness that it's dealing with at the moment. If they do, though, fuck this up, just throw the whole damn thing away like the Nightmare Collective, and thank God that's dead, too. But if they pull their cards off right, this actually might not be too bad. But who's to win? Well, I don't know, really, quite frankly. I mean, do you have the Dark Order win here and then reveal the Exalted One on the Dynamite after? Or do you have SCU win, have one more match there on... Nah, rematching there, that would be... Oosh. But at the same time, though, you have to wonder how it would go about. I don't know, I'm just gonna go with the Dark Order for now. And, that's really it. Really hell of a card, and, if you felt burned by SSD like the rest of us did, definitely watch this. You don't want to miss this. I'd like to thank Healy, as always, for being here with me, and also completely and utter breaking me today with his description of Orange Cassidy.
The best stuff comes up under fly, as we know in this business. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man, but I kind of needed that laugh as well. Okay, I gotta try not to think too hard about that, because if I do, I'm gonna be corpsing all the way like there's no tomorrow. You're gonna have to send several, of the mans, actually. Send both of the mans.
Send Becky Lynch.
And Randy Savage. 2 of them with 1 stone, because there's not gonna be enough to contain that corpsiness. Anyways, folks, that's going to do it for us here, and we'll be back for the next pay-per-view, provided we could still get to Elimination Chamber somehow. It may or may not take a while, but, yeah, we're still kind of you-know-what after you-know-what, so, if not, we'll just see you at the next pay-per-view, whatever. So, until then, thanks for watching, and bye for now.